Welcome back to the podcast series, Learn English While Sleeping, on the English Speaking Course channel. Join us in this podcast series as we talk about many interesting topics. Our podcasts are great for improving your listening and speaking skills. As always, I'm Catherine, your host, and today we're talking about a topic that has been around for a long time: outer beauty. What is beauty, really? Is it something everyone understands the same way, or does it change depending on where we live? To help us talk about this, I'm happy to welcome our special guest, Andy, a makeup artist with years of experience. Welcome to the show, Andy.
Thanks for inviting me. I'm really excited to talk about the changing world of beauty.
Yes, Andy, you're right. Outer beauty is something that interests people everywhere. To start, can you tell us a little about your job as a beauty consultant and makeup artist? What made you want to do this job?
Sure, Catherine. I loved beauty from a young age. I was always amazed by how makeup can make someone look better and feel more confident. Now, I help people find their own beauty. I give skincare tips and do makeup for special events. My goal is to help people feel happy and comfortable with how they look.
Right. So what does beauty mean to you?
That's a good question. For me, beauty's more than just how you look. It's about feeling good and showing who you are. When someone feels happy, you can see it in their eyes, smile, and how they act. Makeup and skincare are fun, but real beauty comes from inside. It's about being happy and confident.
What about other cultures? How do they see beauty?
Well, beauty is different for everyone, right? Different cultures have their own ideas of beauty. In some Western countries, people like tan skin. In some Asian countries, people prefer pale skin. There isn't one idea of beauty. It depends on what each culture likes. These ideas change how people think and what's expected.
I see. Let's talk about beauty standards over time. How have they changed, and what has made them different?
Beauty standards have changed a lot throughout history. In ancient times, each culture had its own ideas of beauty, often shaped by the environment, social status, and beliefs. During the Renaissance, pale skin and a fuller body were seen as beautiful. In the Victorian era, the ideal changed to a slim waist, pale skin, and rosy cheeks. As societies changed, so did beauty ideals. Today, we have many types of beauty in the media, but there is still a focus on looking perfect. Media shows us pictures of people with perfect skin, slim bodies, and balanced features. I think these standards are not realistic, but many people feel pressure to look that way.
That's so true, Andy. It's amazing how much media can shape our ideas. Can you give some examples of how mass media has changed beauty standards recently?
Sure, Catherine. One big example is social media platforms like Instagram and TikTok. Influencers and celebrities often set beauty and fashion trends there. They use filters and editing tools to make their photos look perfect, but not real. Seeing these pictures all the time can make people feel bad about their own looks. People often feel like they have to look the same and don't appreciate their own beauty.
Social media is full of posed and edited pictures. How does seeing these perfect images affect how we feel about ourselves?
It's like a double-edged sword. On one hand, social media can inspire us with makeup, hairstyles, and fashion. But on the other hand, it can make us feel not good enough. People start comparing themselves to these perfect images and feel like they can't measure up.
Do you think people feel pressure to be perfect on social media?
Yes, definitely. There's always pressure to get likes and comments, so people feel they need to look a certain way. Some even use filters, editing apps, or get cosmetic procedures to look beautiful online. It's important to remember that most of these pictures are heavily edited.
Yeah, those filters can be very tricky. What about the good side of social media? Can it help us see more kinds of beauty?
Yes, it can. Social media helps people find beauty influencers who promote body positivity. Now, people of all shapes, sizes, and backgrounds use it to show their unique beauty. This is making beauty standards more positive. It helps people feel strong and seen, even if they weren't always part of the mainstream ideas of beauty.
Now, let's learn some words related to beauty. Captivate, meaning to get someone's attention because something is interesting or beautiful. Example, her beauty and smile captivated everyone in the audience. Empower, meaning to give someone the strength or confidence to do something. Example, we empower our team to make their own choices. Radiance, meaning a happy and beautiful look on someone's face. Example, his face had a special radiance when he smiled. Figure, meaning the shape of a person's body. Example, I saw two figures walking in the park. Flawless, meaning perfect without any mistakes or problems. Example, she has flawless, smooth skin. Measure up, meaning to reach the same level or standard as something else. Example, she felt she could not measure up to her mom's expectations. Social media is full of before and after photos, celebrity makeovers, and people talking about cosmetic surgery. It has changed how we think about changing how we look. What do you think about this?
Social media has made cosmetic surgery more common to see. On Instagram, TikTok, or Twitter, we see influencers and famous people talking about their surgeries. They share things like nose jobs, tummy tucks, and other changes. People see these pictures and might start thinking about what they would change about themselves.
Why do some people get cosmetic surgery?
There are many reasons. Some people do it to fix something they don't like about their looks. Others want to feel more happy and sure about how they look. Sometimes it's done to help people after an accident or illness.
That's interesting to hear. But there are worries about cosmetic surgery. What are some of the problems people talk about?
One big worry is that people feel pressure to look perfect because of social media. This can make people feel unhappy and compare themselves to others. Another problem is about whether it's right or wrong. Some say that if you can buy beauty, we forget that natural differences are important.
Those are good points, Andy. How can people make smart choices about surgery?
People should do research, talk to doctors, and have real ideas about what surgery can do. Good doctors want to keep people safe. They check the person's health, explain the risks and benefits, and give care after the surgery. By helping people make good choices, we can reduce worries about surgery. How do you think the focus on cosmetic surgery affects how we see beauty and diversity? Focusing too much on changing how we look can hide the beauty of our differences. But we should remember that beauty comes in all shapes, sizes, and colours. That leads us to a wonderful part of beauty. It's amazing diversity.
Yes, let's talk about that diversity.
For a long time, media and ads have shown a very narrow idea of beauty. But luckily, that's changing. We now see more types of bodies, different ethnicities, and features in media.
Exactly. Why is it important to accept and celebrate our differences?
Everyone's special and has their own things that make them beautiful. Someone with freckles and curves is just as beautiful as someone with clear skin and a slim body.
That's beautifully said, Andy. Can you share some examples of how beauty diversity is celebrated today?
In recent years, there has been a movement for more inclusivity. We see more diverse models in ads, more skin color choices in makeup, and more brands promoting self-love.
That's great to hear. How can we support a more inclusive idea of beauty?
Embracing beauty in all forms starts with challenging old beauty standards. We need to show more types of beauty in media, fashion, and ads. This includes models of different backgrounds, sizes, and ethnicities. We should also support brands that focus on diversity. By doing this, we can help create a more inclusive view of beauty.
Let's talk about a different part of outer beauty, fashion. What is the link between fashion and personal identity?
Fashion is a strong way to show who we are, I think. The clothes we wear, the colours we choose, and the styles we like all say something about us. Fashion helps us express our style and be ourselves.
Exactly. How can fashion help people feel more confident? Is it just about wearing popular clothes?
When we dress in a way that makes us feel good, it can make us happier and more confident.
It's interesting how fashion can change how we feel. Can you give some examples of how people use fashion to show their beauty?
Sure. For example, someone who loves bright colours and patterns. Their fashion shows their happy and bold personality. Someone who likes simple clothes may look calm and elegant. Some people who have felt bad about their body choose clothes that make them feel good and show their best features.
So, what advice would you give to someone who can't find their style?
There are so many choices. Here are some tips. First, get ideas from things around you. Look at fashion magazines or street styles online, but make the looks your own. Second, try different pieces. Pick up something you don't usually wear, and you might be surprised. Most of all, have fun. Fashion should be a fun way to show who you are.
Great advice, Andy. Is there a difference between using fashion to show your beauty and just following trends?
Following trends can be fun, but it's one way. Using fashion to show your beauty, it's more meaningful. It's about showing the world who you are and how you want to be seen.
That's a great way to explain it. So far, we've talked about some interesting parts of outer beauty. Now, let's look a bit closer and see how beauty affects us emotionally.
Let's start by understanding how physical beauty can change a person's emotions. Physical beauty definitely influences how a person feels about themselves. Research shows that people who are seen as attractive often feel more confident and have higher self-esteem. This good feeling about themselves can lead to many positive things, like a better self-image, higher self-worth, and easier social interactions. But it's important to remember that beauty standards are different in every culture. Like I said before, unrealistic beauty ideals from the media can make people feel unhappy with their bodies or have low self-esteem if they don't match those ideals. It's always important to support a more inclusive idea of beauty to help reduce these negative feelings.
That's an interesting point.
So, how does physical beauty change the way people see and treat each other? Well, studies show that attractive people are often seen more positively and are thought to be friendlier, smarter, and more successful. When it comes to relationships, attractive people may have advantages in social situations, like job interviews, dating, and making friends. But I think real connections and strong relationships need more than just looks.
I agree with you. Long-lasting relationships need qualities like honesty, kindness, and patience. That's very true today. How does outer beauty change our everyday lives?
Some people feel pressure to fit beauty standards, which can make them feel insecure. On the other hand, attractive people might get benefits in social situations and more chances in life. It's not fair, but it's real.
So, does being beautiful make life easier?
Not always. There can still be pressure to meet expectations. And some people might get unwanted attention, or others may make false assumptions about them. But it's important to know that beauty is personal and does not decide a person's value.
That's true, Andy. There are many interesting things about a person besides how they look. In a world where outer beauty is often praised, it's easy to forget how important inner beauty is.
While looks may get attention, it's our kindness and our actions that show who we really are. Inner beauty is important.
How can we balance liking how we look and being good people inside?
Good question, Catherine. The first step is to see that both are important, but how we look can change, while who we are on the inside can grow and last forever.
Yes, that's true.
We should spend time on things that make us feel good inside, like resting, thinking, and taking care of ourselves.
I understand. So we should not ignore how we look, but focus more on who we are inside.
It's okay to take care of our bodies, but we shouldn't worry too much or compare ourselves to others. We should try to be our best selves inside and out.
I couldn't agree more. And that's it for today's episode. Thank you so much, Andy, for joining us and sharing your thoughts. And to our listeners, thank you for being with us today. Always be yourself and love your own beauty. Don't forget to check the free PDF in the description for more helpful words. Stay with us for more conversations in future episodes.
English Leap Podcast.
From Speak English with Class.
Hey there, amazing English Leap listeners. Welcome back to another exciting episode of the English Leap podcast. I'm Jennifer, and I'm absolutely thrilled you're joining us today.
And I'm Daniel. Today is a special one because we've leveled up our daily routine talk. Yep, you heard that right. We're diving deep into how structured routines can transform your life.
Exactly. And here's a fun challenge for all of you. If you can understand everything we're discussing in this episode, congratulations. You've officially entered the intermediate level phase of your English learning journey. High five.
Haha, high five indeed. So buckle up because we're about to make this both informative and super fun. Let's get started.
But before we jump in, quick shout out to all our listeners. You can grab a free PDF for today's episode waiting for you in the description below. It's packed with tips on building a daily routine, key vocabulary words we discuss, and some awesome exercises to help you get started. Don't miss out.
Absolutely. Make sure to download it after the podcast to follow along and implement your own routines. All right, let's dive into today's topic, the importance of having a daily routine.
Absolutely. Routines can make such a big difference in our lives. They help us stay organized, reduce stress, and even improve our overall well-being. Plus, who doesn't love a good routine, right?
Haha, true. But let me ask you, have you ever felt like your day just slips away? Like you wake up, and before you know it, it's night again, and you didn't get much done.
Oh, absolutely. I've been there. Trust me. There was a time when my mornings were a complete disaster. I'd hit the snooze button like a maniac, rush through getting ready, and often skip breakfast because I was running late. It was exhausting and chaotic.
Oh man, I know that feeling all too well. My mornings used to be a hot mess too. I'd wake up late, grab whatever was available for breakfast, sometimes even cereal without milk, and then rush to work feeling frazzled. Not the best start to the day, right?
Right. It was like living in a constant state of panic. But things changed for me when I had a health scare. It was a real wake-up call. Literally. I realized I needed to take better care of myself, and that meant creating a solid daily routine. It wasn't easy at first, but it made a huge difference.
Wow, that's intense. I'm glad you took that step. For me, the turning point was when I couldn't keep up with my workload and felt completely burnt out. It was like my days were slipping through my fingers. So, I decided to overhaul my routine too. It was a bit rocky at first, but totally worth it.
Absolutely. It's amazing how much of an impact a routine can have. So, what motivated you to get back to waking up super early again, Daniel?
Great question. I always admired people who wake up early and seem so productive. After hitting that burnout point, I decided it was time to reclaim my mornings. Waking up early gives me a head start on the day, helps me feel more in control, and sets a positive tone for everything that follows. Plus, there is something magical about those quiet morning hours, don't you think?
Oh, definitely. There's something so peaceful about the early morning. Speaking of which, let's talk about our routines. I'd love to hear about yours first.
Sure thing. Let's break it down into morning, afternoon, evening, and night routines, starting with the morning. I wake up at 6 a.m. The first thing I do is stretch and do a quick meditation for about 10 minutes. It helps me center myself and set a calm mindset for the day. Sometimes I even talk to my plants while meditating. Don't ask why, I just do.
Haha, I love that. Talking to plants is a great way to start the day. My morning starts at 5:30 a.m. I begin by listening to an audiobook while still in bed. It's a great way to wake up my mind with something inspiring or educational. After that, I drink a glass of water to hydrate, then spend about 10 minutes journaling. I jot down my goals and intentions for the day. It's like a brain wake-up call.
I love that. Journaling is such a powerful tool. It really helps in setting clear objectives. After your journaling, what's next?
Next, I review my schedule. I prioritize my tasks and make sure I'm staying on track. This helps me maintain focus and energy throughout the day. Oh, and recently, I've started working with a personal trainer. It's my first time ever, and let me tell you, it's been a game changer for my fitness routine.
That's awesome. I've been thinking about getting a personal trainer myself. How's that experience been for you?
It's been amazing. My trainer creates personalized workout plans, keeps me accountable, and ensures I'm exercising correctly to prevent injuries. Plus, having someone to cheer you on is a huge motivation boost. It's been a great investment in my health and has really boosted my motivation. On top of that, my trainer always shares the funniest stories. Who knew fitness could be so fun?
Haha, that's fantastic. A good sense of humor makes everything better. Now let's talk about the afternoon. What does your afternoon routine look like?
In the afternoon, I usually have lunch around noon. I make sure to eat a balanced meal to keep my energy levels up. After lunch, I take a short walk or do some light stretching to stay active. Then, I dive into my work or personal projects. I try to stay focused and avoid distractions as much as possible. Sometimes I even do a little dance break if I'm feeling stuck. Keeps the energy up.
Same here. After lunch, I'd like to take a brief break to recharge. Sometimes I read a few pages of a book or listen to some music. Then I tackle my work tasks, breaking them down into manageable chunks. It helps me stay productive without feeling overwhelmed. And yes, dance breaks are the best.
Haha, dance breaks are essential. They really lift your spirits. Moving on to the evening. What's your evening routine like, Daniel?
Evenings are all about winding down. I usually have dinner around 7 p.m., spend some time with family or friends, and engage in hobbies like playing the guitar or watching a show. About an hour before bed, I start my nighttime routine, which includes light stretching, reflecting on the day, and planning for the next day. Sometimes I even practice my air guitar skills. Keeps things interesting.
I do something similar. Evenings are for relaxation and spending quality time with loved ones. I have dinner, then maybe watch a movie or read a book. Before bed, I prepare for the next day by reviewing my schedule, setting out my clothes, and making a to-do list. It helps me feel prepared and reduces morning stress. Plus, laying out my clothes means I look fabulous first thing in the morning. Win-win.
Haha, looking fabulous is always a plus. Planning the night before is such a smart move. It makes mornings much smoother. How do you handle nights when you don't get enough sleep?
If I don't get enough sleep, I listen to my body and adjust my schedule. maybe I skip the workout or push some tasks to the next day. I also practice good sleep hygiene by avoiding screens before bed and keeping a consistent bedtime. It's all about being flexible and taking care of myself. And sometimes, I treat myself to an extra cup of coffee. Just kidding. Mostly, I just take it easy.
Haha, I hear you. Flexibility is key to maintaining a healthy routine without burning out. Sometimes you just need that extra coffee, or maybe two. Now, let's talk about how our routines have evolved over time. I remember when I first started my current routine, it was challenging to stick to it, but over time it became second nature, and now I can't imagine my days without it.
Same here. At first, waking up early and sticking to a structured routine was tough. But once I saw the benefits, more energy, better focus, improved health, it became much easier. It's amazing how small changes can lead to big improvements in our lives. Plus, having a routine gives me something to look forward to every morning. No more hitting snooze.
Absolutely. Routines provide a sense of stability and control, especially during uncertain times. They help us stay grounded and focused on what truly matters. And let's be honest, who doesn't love checking off items on a to-do list? It's so satisfying.
And it's not just about productivity. Having a routine also allows for personal growth and self-care. By dedicating time each day to activities that nourish our minds and bodies, we're investing in our long-term well-being. Plus, it gives us a chance to indulge in little pleasures, like that morning audiobook or evening stretch.
Wow, Jennifer, that's a lot to take in. You know, some of the words and phrases we've been using might be new for our listeners. But don't worry, we've got Charlotte here to make everything crystal clear.
Exactly. Charlotte's here to explain a few key vocabulary words and phrases from this episode, along with some simple examples. Take it away, Charlotte!
Thanks, Jennifer and Daniel. Hi, everyone. I'm Charlotte, and I'm here to explain some of the key vocabulary and expressions from today's discussion. Let's dive right in. Rush through, meaning to do something quickly, often carelessly. Example: I had to rush through my homework because I forgot it was due today. Exhausting, meaning extremely tiring. Example: running a marathon was exhausting, but it was worth it. Chaotic, meaning disorganized or messy. Example: my desk was so chaotic that I couldn't find my notebook. Frazzled, meaning stressed or exhausted. Example: she looked frazzled after studying all night. State of panic, meaning a condition of sudden intense anxiety or fear. Example: when I lost my keys, I went into a state of panic. Health scare, meaning a situation causing concern about health. Example: after a health scare, he decided to eat healthier. Wake-up call, meaning a realization or event that prompts significant change. Example: failing that exam was a wake-up call for me to study harder. Burnt out, meaning overwhelmed or exhausted due to overwork or stress. Example: she felt burnt out after working 60 hours a week. Overhaul, meaning to completely change or improve something. Example: the company decided to overhaul its marketing strategy. Rocky, meaning difficult or unstable. Example: their relationship was rocky at first, but now they get along well. Reclaim, meaning to take back control of something. Example: she reclaimed her confidence after completing the project. Hydrate, meaning to provide water to maintain moisture or balance. Example: it's important to hydrate after exercise. Jot down, meaning to write something quickly. Example: I always jot down ideas in my notebook. Countable, meaning responsible for actions or decisions. Example: he stayed accountable by setting weekly goals. Winding down, meaning relaxing or slowing down at the end of the day. Example, I enjoy winding down with a cup of tea before bed. Reflecting, meaning thinking deeply or carefully about something. Example, she spent time reflecting on her career choices. Sleep hygiene, meaning habits or practices that promote good sleep. Example, improving my sleep hygiene helped me feel more rested. Indulge, meaning to enjoy something pleasurable, often in moderation. Example, I like to indulge in chocolate cake on weekends. Living in a constant state of panic, meaning feeling stressed or overwhelmed all the time. Example, during exam week, I felt like I was living in a constant state of panic. Slipping through my fingers, meaning losing control or not being able to hold on to something. Example, time felt like it was slipping through my fingers during the project. Lift your spirits, meaning to improve one's mood. Example, a good laugh always lifts my spirits. Second nature, meaning something that becomes automatic or natural over time. Example, driving has become second nature to me. And that's it for today's vocabulary breakdown. I hope these definitions and examples help you use these words and phrases in your own conversations. Back to you, Jennifer and Daniel.
Thanks, Charlotte. That was super helpful.
Absolutely. Now, listeners, make sure to practice using these words and phrases to make them second nature. Well, that's all the time we have for today's episode. We hope you found our conversation helpful and inspiring. Don't forget to download the free PDF in the description to start building your own routine.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the English Leap podcast. We appreciate your support and can't wait to hear about your progress with your new routines.
Yes, thank you. If you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe and leave us a review. It really helps us reach more listeners like you.
Until next time, stay productive, stay balanced, and keep leaping forward with your English skills.
Take care, everyone.
Your progress doesn't end here. To continue advancing your English skills, click on the next video or explore the additional videos we've thoughtfully selected for you.
English Leap Podcast.
From Speak English with Class.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the English Leap podcast, where learning English feels as exciting as unwrapping a gift. I'm Erin, your friendly host, and I'm absolutely thrilled to kick off today's topic, how to think and speak in English.
And I'm Evan, here to guide you on your journey to speaking English more naturally and confidently. If you're ready to transform your mindset and finally break those language barriers, you're in exactly the right place.
All right, then. Let's start with a little-known fact. Did you know your brain can literally rewire itself in as little as 3 weeks when you're exposed to a new language every day? That's right. Consistency and proper technique can dramatically speed up your language learning progress. Imagine thinking in English by default instead of translating from your native language.
Wow, Erin, that's such a great point. A lot of people don't understand just how powerful repeated exposure and immersive practice can be. Our brains are way more flexible than we often think. Today, we'll explore some life-changing techniques to make English a natural part of your thought process so you can speak with ease without freezing or second-guessing yourself.
Exactly. Today we'll give you 8 proven strategies to help you think directly in English. Trust us, this will save your brain from overworking like an old laptop.
Oh, and before we jump in, we've got something exciting for you. A free PDF guide that goes along with this episode.
Yep. This guide has all the key points, practical exercises, and tips to help you stay on track. It's like having the podcast in your pocket.
Exactly. It's waiting for you in the description. Use it to follow along and practice what you learn.
All right, let's get started with today's topic. You know, Evan, thinking in English isn't something that happens overnight. It's like learning to dance. You start with the basics and build from there. And for me, it all started with listening.
Can't agree more. Listening really is the foundation of everything. When I started, I didn't try to understand every word. I'd just play English podcasts while I cleaned or went for a walk. It was like background music, and over time I noticed I was picking up common words and phrases without even trying.
So true. I used to watch my favorite sitcoms in English. At first, it was just noise. Funny noise, but still noise. I couldn't follow the jokes, but I kept watching because I loved the characters. After a while, I started understanding snippets, and eventually I could follow entire conversations. It felt magical.
Yeah. And the best part is you don't have to pressure yourself to get everything. Listening is like planting seeds. You may not see the growth immediately, but trust me, it's happening.
Exactly. And don't feel like you need to find educational content. If you love baking, watch recipe videos. If you're into sports, listen to post-game interviews. Find something you enjoy so it doesn't feel like work.
Right? Listening gives you a strong foundation, but once you've absorbed those sounds, what comes next? Repetition. That's where things start to stick.
Repetition was such a game changer for me. I used to think I needed to learn something new every day to make progress. But the truth is, going over the same material helps you internalize it. It's like watching your favorite movie. The more you watch it, the more you notice the little details. And eventually, you can quote it word for word.
Yep, that's so true. I used to listen to the same 5-minute audio clip during my morning walks. At first, I only understood a few words. By the third or fourth listen, I could follow the entire thing. By the 10th time, I wasn't just listening. I was silently mouthing the words along with it.
Exactly. Repetition isn't boring when you realize it's building your confidence. I remember practicing the phrase, "Could you repeat that?" Because I knew I'd use it often. I said it so many times that when the moment came to use it in real life, it just came out naturally.
Totally. And once repetition feels easy, you can add a layer of creativity. That's where mini-stories come in, and honestly, they make practice so much fun. Mini-stories are short, simple tales, maybe just a few lines long, that you can easily remember and adapt. For example, Chris walked into a bakery on a rainy day. He bought a fresh loaf of bread. Suddenly, he slipped on a puddle at the entrance. It's a quick, vivid scenario that you can expand in countless ways.
Right. Then you transform that story into a question-answer session. Where did Chris go? He went to a bakery. Why was it slippery? Because of the rain. What did Chris buy? A loaf of bread. This technique might feel playful, but it's actually powerful for your brain. You're forcing yourself to think in English rather than just passively reading or listening. It's like having a mini conversation with yourself, which boosts recall and fluency.
And hey, the great thing is, you don't need a dramatic story. Even simple things like, "I went to the park and saw a dog," can be turned into practice. What kind of dog was it? Was it big or small? What was the weather like? The more you engage with the story, the more you're training your brain to think in English.
Absolutely. So we've talked about listening, repetition, and mini-stories. Great ways to build a foundation. But, Evan, remember how much we used to stress over grammar when we were learning English?
Oh, don't remind me. I'd spend hours trying to memorize grammar rules only to freeze up when I actually had to speak. But then, I discovered a much simpler way. Learning grammar through stories.
Yes, exactly. Instead of memorizing charts, you just observe how grammar works naturally in context. For example, if you hear a story like, "Anna went to the park yesterday," you automatically pick up the past tense. Then you hear, "Anna is going to the park tomorrow," and now you've got the future tense too.
Totally. I used to take simple stories and rewrite them in different tenses, past, present, future. It's like seeing the same event from different angles. And you know what? It actually made grammar feel, dare I say it, fun.
Fun? That's a bold statement. But seriously, it does work. I remember practicing with a story about my daily routine. I wake up at 7 a.m. Then I'd switch it up. I woke up at 7 a.m. yesterday, or I will wake up at 7 a.m. tomorrow. After a while, I didn't even have to think about the tense. It just came naturally.
Exactly. And the beauty of this approach is that it's practical. You're not just learning grammar, you're learning how to use it in real conversations. It's like building a toolbox. You grab the right tool when you need it.
Speaking of tools, one thing that kept me going was finding content I actually cared about. If I wasn't emotionally invested, I'd lose interest fast. That's why connecting with what you love is so important.
Absolutely. Learning is so much easier when you're passionate about the topic. For me, it was travel videos. I'd watch vloggers explore different cities, and I'd feel like I was right there with them, learning new words along the way.
Same here. For me, it was baking videos. I'd watch recipes in English and try to follow along. It made learning so much fun because I was doing something I loved. And honestly, it didn't feel like studying. It felt like play.
That's the key, making it personal. When you're emotionally engaged, you remember things better. It's like watching a movie that moves you. You can recall every scene because it left an impact.
Exactly. So whether it's sports, cooking, or even true crime, find something that excites you and dive in. The more you enjoy the process, the easier it becomes.
And hey, when you're diving into content, don't just focus on individual words. Pay attention to how they're used in context. That's where the magic happens.
Yep. Learning words in isolation is like trying to bake a cake with random ingredients. You have no idea how they all come together. But when you see a word in a sentence, it's like following a recipe. For example, I learned the phrase "on the same page" during a team meeting scene in a TV show. At first, I thought it had something to do with books. But when someone said, "Let's make sure we're on the same page about the project," I realized it meant being in agreement.
Oh, I know exactly what you mean. I remember hearing "let the cat out of the bag" in a movie and thinking, what cat? What bag? But the context made it clear. It meant revealing a secret. Once I understood the situation, the phrase just clicked. And now I can use it naturally.
Exactly. Context paints the full picture. It gives meaning to words. So instead of memorizing a list, focus on phrases and sentences. You'll not only remember the words, but also how to use them naturally.
Totally. And once you start seeing how words and phrases work together, it's easier to stay motivated. That's where consistency comes in.
Consistency is the secret sauce. You don't need to spend hours every day. Just 10 or 15 minutes can work wonders if you do it regularly. I used to listen to a podcast every morning while I got ready. It was such a small thing, but it added up.
Same here. I'd read one English article a day, even if it was just a quick one. Those daily habits kept the language fresh in my mind. And over time, it felt less like studying and more like a routine.
That's the beauty of habits. They're small but powerful. Whether it's watching a video, reading a paragraph, or practicing a phrase. Doing it daily keeps you connected to the language.
And once you've built that consistency, it's time to take the leap and start speaking. Even if it feels scary, it's the best way to grow.
Oh, I remember how nervous I was the first time I spoke English in public. My heart was racing, and I kept thinking, what if I mess up? But then I realized something. Most people are just happy you're trying. They don't care if you make mistakes.
Exactly. I started by talking to myself at home. I'd narrate my day. I'm making coffee. I'm going to the store. It felt silly, but it gave me the confidence to speak with others later.
And once you're comfortable speaking to yourself, try practicing with a friend or a language partner. The more you do it, the less intimidating it feels. Mistakes are just part of the journey.
And honestly, mistakes are proof that you're learning. Every time you step out of your comfort zone, you're one step closer to fluency.
All right. that wraps up our discussion on how to think and speak in English without fear. But Evan, I think it's time we dig a little deeper into some of the key words we've mentioned today.
Yep, can't agree more. To help us break down these important vocab terms, we have our awesome co-host, Charlotte, ready to guide us through a quick vocabulary breakdown. Charlotte, over to you.
Thank you, Aaron and Evan. Hey everyone, I'm Charlotte. I've been listening in and I've picked out some words that might need a closer look. Let's go over them one by one. Rewire, meaning changing or reorganizing the way you think or learn. Example: I decided to rewire my morning routine by reading in English for 10 minutes before breakfast. Consistency, meaning doing something regularly and without interruption. Example: her consistency in practicing English every day helped her learn quickly. Immersive practice, meaning learning by being fully involved in the language, like watching videos or listening to music in English. Example: immersive practice helped him pick up new phrases without even realizing it. Exposure, meaning coming into contact with the language through various mediums like videos, podcasts, or articles. Example: she increased her exposure to English by listening to 2 podcasts daily. Foundation, meaning the base or starting point for building your skills or knowledge. Example: grammar provides a foundation, but speaking practice helps build fluency on top of it. Internalize, meaning to absorb or learn something deeply until it becomes natural. Example: with lots of reading, he managed to internalize new vocabulary quickly. Overworking, meaning using too much energy or effort, often leading to burnout. Example: she was overworking herself by studying for 6 hours every night without breaks. Game changer, meaning an idea or event that drastically changes how things are done. Example: using flashcards on her phone was a game changer for remembering new words. Context, meaning the situation or environment that defines how a word or phrase is used. Example: knowing the context of a conversation helps you figure out the meaning of idioms. In agreement, meaning sharing the same opinion or being on the same page. Example: my classmates and I were in agreement about the best time to study together. That's it for our vocabulary breakdown. I hope these definitions and simple sentences help you feel more confident using these words. Now let's head back to Aaron and Evan.
Thank you so much, Charlotte. Those examples were super clear. I love how you gave us simple sentences right away. It makes these words feel instantly usable.
Yeah, that was really helpful. I'm sure our listeners now have a better grasp on the vocabulary we've been throwing around. All right, let's keep the momentum going.
Exactly. Remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about progress. Take small steps every day and trust the process.
Thanks for joining us on the English Leap podcast. Keep practicing, stay curious, and enjoy the journey.
And don't forget to grab the free PDF guide. It's packed with everything we've discussed today. See you next time, and happy learning.
Your progress doesn't end here. To continue advancing your English skills, click on the next video or explore the additional videos we've thoughtfully selected for you.
English Leap Podcast.
From Speak English with Class.
Hey there, English learners. Welcome back to the English Leap podcast, your go-to podcast for learning English the fun, natural way and improving all areas of your life. I'm Erin.
And I'm Evan. We're so excited to have you with us today. Whether you're new here or you've been listening for a while, we've got a great episode lined up for you.
Absolutely. Let me ask you something. What do you think is the one thing that can make or break your success? Whether it's learning English, staying fit, or reaching any goal?
That's an interesting question. Let me guess. If there's one thing that truly determines success, it has to be self-discipline. It's what keeps us moving forward, even when motivation fades.
You're absolutely right. And now that you mention it, I've been struggling with self-discipline lately. I've been falling behind on some personal goals and, to be honest, feeling a bit undisciplined.
I can totally relate. We all have those moments where we set big goals and then struggle to stick with them. What's been going on for you?
Well, for example, I've been wanting to exercise more, but the days when I need to work out always seem to clash with my Netflix binge sessions. I just can't seem to keep the momentum going, and I keep thinking, I'll start tomorrow.
Ah, the classic "I'll start tomorrow" syndrome. We've all been there. But hey, this is exactly why we're talking about self-discipline today. Because without it, we end up procrastinating and losing sight of our goals.
Exactly. So, in today's episode, we're going to break down how to build self-discipline, why it's crucial for success, and how we can stay motivated even when things get tough.
Yes. And the best part? We've got some practical tips to share that'll help you stay disciplined in both your English learning and other areas of your life.
And, as always, we've got a special treat for you. Our free PDF guide for today's episode, which includes key takeaways, comprehension questions, and grammar exercises. You can use it to reinforce what you learned today and keep improving your discipline and English.
And don't forget, we'll also be introducing some new intermediate-level vocabulary throughout the episode. These words and phrases will help you sound even more natural when you speak English, and we'll be breaking them down in Charlotte's vocabulary section later on.
So, stick around, because this episode is packed with practical insights that will help you build self-discipline and take your English skills to new heights.
That's right. Whether you're looking to build better habits, improve your speaking confidence, or just get better at staying focused, this episode is for you.
All right, let's get started with today's topic, how to build self-discipline and stay consistent on the path to success.
Let's kick things off with the first tip. Start with tiny habits. If you're aiming to build self-discipline, focusing on small, manageable habits is a great way to begin.
I can totally relate to this. Every year I set huge goals, like working out for an hour every day or eating perfectly. And every year, by mid-January, I'm already overwhelmed and burned out. It's frustrating because I can't keep up with such big expectations.
Oh, I know exactly what you mean. New Year's resolutions can be so tempting, but they can also lead to burnout if we try to do too much at once. The key is to start small and build momentum.
Exactly. I've realized that when I focus on tiny habits, like committing to just 5 minutes of exercise each day, I'm more likely to stick with it. It feels more manageable, and over time, it builds up.
That's it. Tiny habits, done consistently, help you build momentum. Like you said, 5 minutes of exercise every day seems small, but over a few weeks or months, it can really add up.
Yeah, it's the same with language learning. Instead of committing to study English for an hour, commit to just 5 minutes of practice a day, whether it's reading, listening, or learning a new word. Over time, that small habit will turn into progress, and you'll feel more confident without feeling stressed. Remember, consistency is key.
Exactly. James Clear in Atomic Habits talks about how small habits compound over time. The idea is to make the habit so small that you can't say no to it. You might only practice for a few minutes, but that small effort, done consistently, leads to big results.
I love that. And the best part is, when you focus on small habits, they naturally become part of your routine. It's easier to stay disciplined without feeling like you're forcing yourself.
Totally. And now, moving to the second tip, focus on systems, not just goals. Goals are great, but they don't always lead to success without a clear system to back them up.
I've definitely made that mistake. I'd set big goals like, I want to lose 30 pounds in 3 months. But without a system in place, I just couldn't keep up. I'd start strong, but then get discouraged when I didn't see quick results.
Exactly. That's where systems come in. A system is a series of small daily actions that get you closer to your goal.
Ah, I see. So instead of focusing on the outcome, our listeners should focus on creating a system for success. For example, they can practice English for just 10 minutes every morning or listen to English podcasts during their commute. By making these small, consistent habits a part of their daily routine, they'll start seeing big results over time.
Yes, and once your system is in place, it becomes automatic. You don't have to rely on motivation. You just follow the routine, no matter how small it seems.
I like that. When I focus on building a routine, I'm not stressing about the end goal, just about following through with the system I've set up.
Exactly. Systems are what keep you on track. With the right system in place, you're less likely to burn out or give up because your actions become consistent and automatic.
Right. It's like creating a path that leads you to your goal without all the bumps and detours. Once the system is in place, it becomes second nature.
Exactly. And that leads us to the next tip. Make habits attractive. If you make a habit fun, sticking with it becomes a whole lot easier.
I totally agree. When I started exercising, I used to dread it, but then I started making it enjoyable. I'd listen to my favorite music or watch a funny TV show while stretching. Suddenly, working out wasn't such a chore.
Exactly. The same approach works for English practice. If you find ways to make it enjoyable, like watching an exciting English show or treating yourself after a study session, it makes the process so much more fun.
That's a great idea. If our listeners reward themselves after practicing English, like with a small treat or a fun activity, it'll keep them motivated. It's like bribing yourself to learn, but in a good way.
Haha. Well, who doesn't love a little self-bribery? Positive reinforcement is powerful. When you pair good habits with rewards, it makes it more likely you'll stick with them. Your brain loves rewards, and it'll strengthen the habit over time.
So, making habits attractive by pairing them with rewards means I'm more likely to stick to my goals, whether it's fitness or language learning. Who knew being disciplined could involve snacks and TV?
Right. Discipline doesn't have to be a boring task. And that leads us to the next tip: designing your environment for success. The truth is, your surroundings can either help or hurt your discipline.
Oh, I can definitely vouch for that. When my desk is cluttered or I've got snacks all around me, I get distracted really quickly.
Haha, like a setup for disaster. If your environment doesn't support your goals, it's way too easy to give in to distractions.
Exactly. That's why I've started keeping my workout clothes right by my bed and my gym bag near the door. That way, I'm reminded to exercise first thing in the morning. I also moved the snacks away from my desk to avoid temptation and stay focused.
Smart move. The key is to make it easier to follow through and harder to procrastinate.
Exactly. Same thing goes for English learning too. For all of you learning English, make your environment work for you. Keep your study materials visible and accessible, whether it's books, apps, or flashcards. Make sure they're within reach. Out of sight, out of mind, right?
Right. And don't forget, the people around you matter too. Surround yourself with people who support your goals. If your friends are cheering you on, it's a lot easier to stay disciplined.
Well, unless your friends are distracting you with cake. But that's a different story.
True. And speaking of distractions, that's where managing your willpower and energy comes in. Willpower is like a muscle. It gets weaker the more you use it.
Oh, I totally feel that. By the end of the day, I've used up all my willpower, and I'm just trying to resist the urge to binge watch Netflix.
Haha, I hear you. That's why it's important to manage your energy wisely. Do your most important tasks, like studying English or exercising, when you're feeling your best, usually earlier in the day.
Right. So for me, if I exercise in the morning, I'm more likely to stick with it. But by the evening, I don't have the energy to force myself to work out.
Exactly. And for English learners, find your peak energy time and use it for focused practice. Whether it's reviewing vocabulary, speaking, or listening, do it when you're feeling sharp to make the most of your energy.
Totally. And another tip is automating decisions. The fewer decisions you have to make, the more energy you'll have for the things that really matter, like learning or working out.
Exactly. Automating your decisions helps you conserve mental energy for the big stuff. Now, once you've set up your systems, having someone to hold you accountable can take it to the next level. Social support is key to boosting your self-discipline.
I completely agree. When I have a workout buddy or a friend checking in on me, I'm way more likely to stay on track with my exercise routine.
Exactly. The same goes for English learners. Whether it's a language partner, a study group, or even just a friend who checks in on your progress, having someone hold you accountable can make a huge difference.
It's like having someone to help you stay focused, except without the judgment. Just a gentle push when you need it.
That's the idea. Accountability helps keep you motivated and consistent. Whether it's sharing your English practice with a friend or working out with a partner, it's much easier to stay disciplined with support.
Exactly. And for fitness, if I have someone to encourage me, it's so much harder to skip a workout. Same for English. You're more likely to stick to it if you've got that support.
Now that we've covered some powerful tips for building self-discipline, let's take a quick moment to review some key words and phrases we've mentioned today.
That's right. And to help with your English learning, we've got Charlotte here to explain some of the intermediate vocabulary we use today. Over to you, Charlotte.
Hi, everyone. It's Charlotte here, and today I'm going to break down some key vocabulary from today's episode that can help boost your English skills. Let's dive in. Momentum, meaning the force that makes something keep moving or developing. Example, starting small helps you build momentum towards achieving your big goals. Overwhelmed, meaning feeling like you have too much to handle. Example, she felt overwhelmed with all the work she had to do for the project. Burnout, meaning physical or mental exhaustion from too much stress or work. Example, if you don't take breaks, you might experience burnout. Procrastinate, meaning to delay doing something that needs to be done. Example, I tend to procrastinate when it comes to cleaning my room. Consistently, meaning doing something in the same way without changing over time. Example, he consistently practices his guitar every day. Motivation, meaning the desire or reason to do something. Example, her motivation to study comes from wanting to pass the exam with flying colors. Reinforcement, meaning encouraging or strengthening a behavior with rewards. Example, positive reinforcement helped the dog learn new tricks faster. Accountability, meaning being responsible for your actions, especially with others checking on you. Example, having a study buddy creates accountability to make sure you stay on track. Willpower, meaning the ability to control yourself and your actions, especially in difficult situations. Example, it takes willpower to avoid eating junk food when you're trying to eat healthier. Automating, meaning making something automatic or routine so you don't have to think about it. Example, he's automating his daily tasks by setting reminders on his phone. And that's it for today's vocabulary section. Remember, the best way to remember new words is by using them in real-life situations. Try to include these words in your conversations or writing to reinforce your learning.
Thanks, Charlotte. Those vocabulary tips are always helpful.
Absolutely. And now it's time to wrap up. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the English Leap podcast.
Remember to keep those tiny habits in place, stay consistent, and make your environment work for you.
And, of course, reward yourself along the way. Good habits don't have to be boring. Make them fun.
We'll catch you in the next episode. Keep learning and keep improving. Until then, take care.
Your progress doesn't end here. To continue advancing your English skills, click on the next video or explore the additional videos we've thoughtfully selected for you.
English Leap Podcast.
From Speak English with Class.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the English Leap Podcast. I'm Jennifer, and here with me is my awesome co-host, Daniel.
Hey there, listeners. Today's episode is full of energy. We're diving into a day in the life of a student living alone. And it's not just any student, folks. We have Lucy here with us, who's managed to create a balanced routine with early mornings, school, self-care, cooking, and more. I mean, does she sleep?
We're about to find out. Lucy, thank you so much for joining us and sharing your day.
Thank you, Jennifer and Daniel. I'm excited to share my day. Living alone has its ups and downs, but I've figured out a routine that works. I promise, there's still time to sleep.
Good to know. All right, Lucy, let's jump into it. Take us through a day in the life of Lucy.
So, Lucy, before we start, I have to ask, do you think a routine is really that important? Like, would your day be all over the place without it?
Honestly, yes. Without my routine, I'd be lost. Having a plan for the day keeps me focused and actually makes me feel relaxed. It's funny. People think routines are boring, but I think they're the secret to staying calm and productive.
Haha, I totally get that. Back in my student days, whenever I didn't stick to a routine, it was complete chaos.
Yes, exactly. My routine keeps me organized, but I add fun things to keep it interesting. So, shall we jump right into the details?
Absolutely. But before we get started, I want to mention that we've prepared a free PDF with all the key points from this episode. It's packed with tips and vocabulary, perfect for following along or reviewing later. You can find it in the description below.
Yes, it's great if you want to take notes or go back over Lucy's routine. All right, Lucy, take it away.
Okay, so I start my day at 5 a.m. I know it sounds early, but trust me, it works. First thing, I get up and walk to the bathroom, still half asleep, and I brush my teeth, splash cold water on my face, and try to wake myself up.
5 a.m. I can barely open my eyes at that hour. Does that cold water help you wake up every time?
Oh, yes. The cold water shock is real, but it's surprisingly refreshing. After that, I do some stretches, just to wake up my body a little bit more.
Stretches in the morning, that's dedication. Do you feel it makes a difference?
Absolutely. I'm not super flexible or anything, but even a few stretches help get rid of the sleepy feeling and make me feel more relaxed. It's kind of like saying good morning to my muscles. Next up is coffee. I make myself a cup and sit down to enjoy it. This is when I set my goals for the day. I write down my main tasks for school, like assignments or study sessions, and I'll set 1 or 2 personal goals. Sometimes it's something simple, like practicing new vocabulary or drinking more water.
That sounds so calm and focused. Do you find it makes the day feel easier, having those goals?
Definitely. It's like giving myself a mini roadmap for the day. Plus, if I complete even half of my goals, I feel productive.
And with coffee in hand, you're ready to take on anything, right?
Exactly! Coffee is like my morning power-up. Once my coffee is finished, I head to the gym around 5:30. I try to keep it simple. Some cardio, like a light jog and a few weights. Nothing extreme, just enough to feel energized.
Love it. I bet exercising first thing gives you a big boost for the day.
It really does. On gym days, I feel like I can tackle anything, and on days when I don't go, I actually feel a bit slower.
So, gym in the morning is officially the secret to superhero energy?
Something like that. It's the best way to start fresh, for sure. After the gym, I come back home and jump in the shower. Then it's time for my skincare routine. Cleanser, moisturizer, and of course, sunscreen. Sunscreen is a must, even if it's cloudy.
You're speaking to the skincare lovers here. Do you feel like it's a little self-care moment too?
Absolutely. Skincare in the morning feels like a treat. After that, I make a quick breakfast, usually scrambled eggs with toast and some fruit on the side. A good breakfast keeps me energized and focused.
And it sounds delicious. A great breakfast, some self-care. I'm starting to see why you're so productive.
Thank you. Once breakfast is done, I grab my backpack, make sure I have everything for school, and head out the door. My classes start around 8:30. I have a mix of lectures and group projects, so it's pretty packed. I like to take notes and ask questions. It helps me stay engaged.
That's so smart. Taking notes and asking questions keeps you actively involved.
Yes. Plus, asking questions makes everything feel clearer, and I remember things better. We get a few short breaks, so I usually review my notes, chat with friends, or grab a coffee.
Sounds like a nice balance. Do you find that little social break helps with the rest of the school day?
Definitely. Those small breaks give my mind a rest and keep me from feeling overloaded. When I get home, it's time for lunch. I'll usually make something quick, like a salad with veggies and chicken or some pasta. Cooking is actually relaxing after school. Plus, I like knowing what's in my food.
Yes, cooking your own lunch must feel great. Do you feel more energized after a home-cooked meal?
Totally! After lunch, I clean up around my apartment. Living alone means I handle everything, so I do a quick sweep, put things away, and wash any dishes. Keeping things tidy makes a big difference.
Clean space, clear mind, right? That's actually really smart. Just a little bit of cleaning each day.
Exactly. And then I go over my notes from class or start on any assignments I have. By evening, I'm ready for a break. I make myself a nice dinner, like stir-fried veggies with rice or a cozy bowl of soup. After dinner, I relax with a show or read a bit. It's my time to recharge.
Sounds so cozy. Taking that time for yourself in the evening sounds wonderful.
It really is. Then, I do my nighttime skincare routine. Cleanser, moisturizer, and sometimes a face mask. I also take time to care for my hair, maybe with a leave-in conditioner or a serum.
It's like a mini spa night. I love it.
Yes. It's my little ritual to relax before bed. After that, I set my alarm for 5 a.m., and it's off to sleep.
Lucy, thank you so much for sharing your day with us. It's inspiring and full of practical ideas. I feel like I've learned so much.
Thank you, Jennifer and Daniel. I'm glad I could share my day. I hope it helps others build their own routines.
We're sure it will. Thanks again, Lucy, for giving us a peek into your life as a student.
And now, listeners, it's time to dive into some important vocabulary and phrases from today's episode with Charlotte. She'll break down each word and phrase to help you understand and use them confidently.
Hello, listeners. I'm Charlotte, here to break down some key vocabulary and phrases from today's episode. Let's dive in. Routine, meaning a sequence of actions regularly followed. Example: her morning routine includes meditation, breakfast, and a short walk to start the day on a positive note. Stretch, meaning to extend your muscles to prepare or relax the body. Example: he likes to stretch for a few minutes before bed to help him sleep better. Energized, meaning feeling full of energy or motivated. Example: the fresh air during her morning jog made her feel energized for the rest of the day. Productive, meaning able to accomplish a lot in a short time. Example: she felt productive after finishing her project ahead of schedule. Unwind, meaning to relax after a busy or stressful period. Example: after a long day at work, he likes to unwind by listening to his favorite music. Focused, meaning giving full attention to something. Example: with her phone on silent, she remained focused on completing her assignment. Self-care, meaning activities and habits for taking care of one's physical and mental health. Example: a warm bath and reading a book are part of her self-care routine on Sundays. Packed, meaning very busy or full of activities. Example: his schedule was packed with meetings, leaving little time for breaks. Balance, meaning to have a healthy mix of activities, avoiding too much stress or relaxation. Example, he tries to balance work with leisure activities to avoid burnout. Take on, meaning, to start or manage a task or responsibility. Example, she decided to take on the responsibility of organizing the company event. That's it for today's episode. Try using these words and phrases in your daily routine to make them more familiar. They're perfect for talking about organization and staying balanced. Good luck and keep practicing.
Thank you, Charlotte, for the vocabulary tips. And thank you, everyone, for listening. We hope Lucy's day gave you some ideas for building your own routine.
Yes, thanks for tuning in. Remember, even small routines can make a big difference. Until next time, keep practicing, stay balanced, and have fun with your English journey.
Goodbye, everyone, and keep learning.
Your progress doesn't end here. To continue advancing your English skills, click on the next video or explore the additional videos we've thoughtfully selected for you.